You were tuned into SpotCheck here on 91.1 KLSU. I am your host, Nick Frewin, a.k.a. Nick at Night, and I'm joined today by a very special guest, Wakai. What's up, man? How you doing?
It's good, bro. Hyped to be here.
Hyped to be here. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming in kind of on a short notice, too. I know we tapped in earlier this week. You heard me play... honestly, that's one of my favorite songs of yours, by the way. That EP is... That's when I really, had you studying the rotation. You know what I'm saying?
That's hard. I'm glad.
And also that track, giving you a little insight. That you don't curse on it, so it's a little easier to play on air. You know what I'm talking about? Because I don't got to edit any of it. So that is
true.
That is a part of it. But I want to talk about that project. We're gonna get right into it.
For sure.
So Ram Raz, that's it. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
How'd you? Because he's not from.
Nah, he's from Tel Aviv, Israel.
So how'd you tap in with him?
Oh, he hit me up. He was emailing me beats for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just was kind of listening to him. Then it was some that stuck. And then I remember he sent me 3 specific beats. And I was like, these are crazy.
Yeah.
So these are the ones. And I was like, all right, bro, I'm going to give you my number.
Did any of those make the EP?
Nah, none of those. None of those made the EP. I feel like I try to make a real relationship with a producer before I just drop the first stuff we make. Because majority of the time, I don't really like the first things I make.
Mm-hmm.
I end up liking stuff after the fact, you know? I'll go back and what's something I made maybe a while ago that I keep listening to, those are the songs I put out.
So how long does it? So that EP, I guess, if it's 5 or 6 songs, it's not that long. That's a great EP. How long did it take you to make that entire? What was that process like? I guess.
I mean, it was real fluid. I didn't really overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
I just I already had put out an album, so I was kind of I want to still stay consistent, dropping music, because I felt like the attention kept raising.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I could show people I'm more than just this one sound, and then and then just being having a global presence, it's people in Israel who know me by name now. So it's kind of I wanted to extend that family or whatever, and it's kind of I didn't really overthink it. It was songs I had that I was just all right, this goes with this, this goes with this. Then I'd take trips to LA. Then I made that song with Asha. Then I was like, okay, this could be cool too. So I just ended up putting them together, and it was all right, let's put it out. So we just put it out, you know.
That's what always interests me when I talk to artists, because they have a catalog of music that they have, but they haven't released it. So I guess for you, how many songs do you think right now do you got on the back burner? That is there a number? Is there?
How many songs do you think I got?
Millions?
Yeah, I ain't gonna say millions, but I know for sure I got at least 1,000 songs.
Yeah.
At least 1,000.
But is it just are
since
there,
I was 18?
Are there any that that you're continually working on? You know what I mean? Or is it just that you just don't want to release them? They're just personal.
Yeah, but no, I realized some stuff. All right, being that I feel like what I have is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
With every gift, with most gifts you could give them.
Yeah.
But also it's certain gifts that you I don't know, you could treat yourself, you can give yourself a gift. So I feel like some songs I make are literally for me. Or literally I feel like my homies, or literally for a specific person that I'm making it for, and I don't feel like I have to share that with the universe. Cause I share a lot with the universe already, and I feel like I'm very genuine, in my approach and what I'm making. I'm only talking about experiences I went through, or things that I personally saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, I think it's a thin line of giving too much of yourself, to people, because once you put it out there, it's out there. It's you can't really take it back. But it's power in that too. It's empowering being able to make things that resonate with people, people dropping the keys, dropping literal keys, dropping major keys. It's a lot. But sometimes I feel like it's good to keep stuff for yourself. I have songs that I love, know them front to back, listen to them maybe once every 2 weeks that people will never hear. But
they're for you.
Yeah, they're for me.
I'll put you on the spot.
Me, you know?
You ever make a song for a girl? Specifically and send it to her and shit? Or
yeah.
You ever make a song for one girl but send it to multiple?
Nah. Never did that before. I feel like I'm not that broad. I feel like the older I get when I'm making music, I think I tend to get very direct.
Yeah.
I used to write a bunch of filler lines. Now it's just kind of I'm getting very direct, and I'm talking about a specific thing. So if I'm making a song for a girl, she's gonna know it's about her. If I don't, I might not name drop it, but it's gonna be something very I might say her literal height and her eye color.
Yeah.
And that's very specific to her, you know?
So we're talking about lyrics. So something that I've been starting to do in the last couple episodes is I went through your music, obviously I've been listening to it, and I pulled lyrics from 3 different songs, 2 of your songs and 1 from a feature.
Right.
And do you think if I read these to you, you'll know the song?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay,
I should know. I should know.
I'm not gonna give you the year, I'm just gonna read this one straight away. Probably not going to be as sounding good as you do it, but you know what I mean? All right.
Sure.
I might go psycho for the light show, even though I know, yes, it's a cycle, trading places to your highest title, excuse me.
I'm trying to think.
I can reread it.
Yeah, say it again.
All right. I might go psycho for the light show, and even though I know. Yes, it's a cycle, trading places to your highest title.
I know this verse. I'm trying to think what song this was.
I'll tell you the year.
Yeah, tell me what year.
2020.
Might go psycho for the light show, and even I know trading places. This is on Colors.
No, I think it was. I saw it as a single, standalone single, and I also don't think you worked. Maybe you did work as a producer, but it's the only one that I saw on your Spotify that this producer that you did this track with.
Was this with Jared?
Maybe.
I think I know what song you're talking about.
You want me to tell you the title?
Yeah.
Standing Close.
Yeah, this was verses. This was verses. I might go psycho for the psycho, and even I know Trey plays the highest title. Oh yeah, I know this. I made this during COVID.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So I saw that's one thing I like because you see like the output, not just for you, but a lot of artists like during COVID, because that's the time for you really to tap in. So like, we'll get back to these other two.
I made so many damn songs.
This was about to ask. Like, do you think you developed a lot as an artist then?
Yeah, I made my album during COVID for sure. Like
Dark Boy?
For the bulk of it, I was working. I had another project that wasn't Dark Boy.
Yeah.
Then I met Curdy, he executive produced it.
Curdy Padley.
Yeah. I met him. Then he ended up just reshifting it. But basically, like what I did, what was cool about that song, versus his real name is Vicente. He basically he would let me drop songs with him on his YouTube because he had like a very big like following because he made like a lot of like huge type beats or whatever. So I just started dropping music videos with him during COVID, and that kind of just like opened up a door for like a plethora, like not only people on YouTube, but just like a lot of producers tapped in with me. Like a lot of producers, like bigger producers started tapping in with me just during COVID. So I was like, okay, I could reshape my album now that I have like this, I guess, network.
Especially because like at least right now, I don't know about in 2020, but now you kind of, in my mind, there's a scene of underground artists, hip hop artists. Like my name isn't J Mac, Marco. We were talking about him. I get Wolf Morpheus. He's a producer. You know what I'm talking about. But like when I consider them. I talk to guys who aren't even from Baton Rouge, right? Because Baton Rouge, is, they're a little more tapped in. But I know guys like my homies in Florida, Virginia, they know who you are just based off. You see what I'm saying? So like you're like,
it's a world,
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a small world. Like I went to middle school. My name is J Mac's little brother. I remember being put on to him in 2019 when he had like 200 followers like on Instagram, right?
Damn, that's the bro though. That's the bro.
Oh, he makes great music. Like he has this track called 08 Rondo, like that.
He's hard. Brass Knuckles. He got too many crazy songs.
He's got and the dude he works with, Tommy Richmond. Yeah, that dude's opened up for Brent Faiyaz now. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's a whole new scene. So talking about tours, I wanted to ask you about. We're gonna get back to these other two, lyrics. But Mavi, okay, how did that happen? It makes sense though when you look at like y'all style and stuff. But how did that tap in happen?
Well, basically, I'm cool with his manager.
Okay.
So like, I've been cool with his manager for like a little minute, maybe a year and a half. Yeah, a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I remember when they put out the tour flyer, they were looking for openers.
Yeah.
And he has a close relationship with my manager, Levi, like one of my managers. And then we was just talking, and like the day he posted the flyer saying they was gonna need openers. And then when I seen like the dates, like for the southern ones, I was like, you gotta tap in.
Yeah.
Like you gotta tap in. And then he literally like he responded like within minutes, and he was like, bro, I got you. Like he literally said, bro, I got you. And I think he was just on some like at first, that's how I was thinking. Like at first it was on some like, all right, he might tap in, he might not tap in. And he tapped in. Like literally like months after the fact, he was like, oh yeah, we want to bring you for like a couple of days. We ended up doing 3 dates back to back. And now that was beautiful. Like it was my first like real like touring experience.
And how was that? Like how was it like? Because I feel like it's different making music in the studio or whatever, making it at home, but performing I feel like it's a whole different type of beat. So like. Was that because I know you've done live performances before, but like you said this is your first bigger one. I guess how was that?
I think this was like my first time, because I've done some cool like big crowd shows. I think this is my first time where it's every night I'm doing shows to a different like demographic of people, which was kind of like you gotta damn near retailer yourself while still being true to yourself and being authentic, but at the same time you got to project something that wants to be heard and like wants to be received, because you don't know, like you might go into a crowd where everybody's like this, or you might go into a crowd where everybody's like this, like waiting for you to do something where they can either laugh about it or love it. So it's kind of like it's a 50-50 and you rolling the dice and like how you approach it. So you realize like you kind of start humanizing people like way more, or like humanizing the consumer, because like when I went in to
Humanize the consumer. Sorry, that was a great way to put that.
Yeah, you have to, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I'm making music to be heard, but to be heard, someone has to listen. So it's kind of like I can't keep shouting at you and expect you to listen.
You gotta hook them in.
You gotta hook them in. Like you gotta give them incentive. So when I went to the very first show, a lot was it was just hectic, because like the first show I didn't have my manager with me, so I was kind of just like overseeing everybody that I brought with me. I brought like 5 people with me or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just realized like the role that they played in keeping everything like organized and everything. The show went beautiful though.
Yeah.
Like the first show was in San Antonio, and my parents came because they live in Corpus, so they drove down to see me at the show. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I can show you a video after this.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
It was a beautiful experience, but I also learned the power of consistent performance is like nothing beats that. Yeah. Like nothing beats having a real tangible like experience with somebody where you shake their hand, you hug them, you look them in their eyes after you've been on the stage, and then you talk to people consistently. Like nothing beats that. And I feel like I learned a lot even about myself, like the style I like performing, certain tricks that I have that I don't see other people do in certain shows where I'm like, okay, I never see anybody do this and it's unique to me and it's working. I might as well try it a little harder, or like try it more than I used to do it. And I started seeing like, okay, I did this in San Antonio. I should have did this a little more. Let me try it in Dallas.
That's the only way to that's kind of the thing about live performance stuff. I always think about like comedians. The only way to know if you're funny is you have to go up there and try it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no other way. Like,
you always rolling the dice because I mean some stuff not gonna work. Like, but it's beauty in that. I think a wise person said like you never learn from a win, you learn from losses. Yeah. So it's kind of like
lose and learn.
Yeah, like the success is the success. Once you have the success, you like everybody cheering. Yeah. But then you gotta realize, all right, what did I do wrong before they was cheering, so I can get them to continue cheering, you know?
So what do you have like a go-to? Because I'm assuming like these, you know, for hip-hop shows, like 15, 20-minute sets, something like that, maybe 30 minutes. So do you have a go-to? Are you opening up a bigger track to start it off, you know, something that people know? Or you know, what do you open up with? You know?
Hey, see, me, I'm a little head ass. Like, people would expect me to do my biggest songs, and I literally never do them. Or I might. I'll do like a album cut that I know people will want to see live, but majority of the time, like the biggest songs I have are like with features. Yeah. And it's kind of like you can perform a song with features. Like this last show I did in New York, I did a song that's on my album that has a feature on it, and I did the feature, like I had the person's part playing and I sang it with them. And it was cool. Yeah. Like I made it more of a we gonna dance to this part versus me just being on stage waiting for their part. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like performance.
That's why it's kind of hard for hip hop artists. So it's like sometimes, you know what I mean? It's not like rock or something like that where you have to stay live the entire time. Hip hop, like when it comes in, I see some people complain about that, but I think there's ways to go around that. Like you said, like going along with it or getting the crowd more involved.
There's different things you could do. Plus, I mean, I perform with a live band too, so it's kind of like I end up having, like, I got the rock elements, I got the jazz elements. I got like I don't know, it's real cultivated, I guess. But I don't know, it's fun. Like I try different things.
Your sound does bounce everywhere. Getting back to the type of songs, I have lyrics. This is from a feature though. Okay. 2023, I'll give you the year. Okay. Pitch dark, you're trying to spark weed if you're bae. On the side, compromised by the lies when you pray. Skylines, the tears of minds was happiness just yesterday.
Hey.
That was when I heard it, I was like, I gotta ask about that.
Tell the people again. Tell the people again.
Pitch dark, you're trying to spark weed if you're bae. On the side, compromised by the lies when you pray. Skylines, the tears of minds was happiness just yesterday.
Yeah, this came out 2023.
Yeah, January.
No, this ain't a way game. This a feature. Why I feel like this
you put me onto this guy. I liked his verse too, so like I appreciate you for that one.
Yeah. Well, I feel like this what's his name? I know that I vividly remember when I did this verse. It was raining outside.
Well, here, I'll give you the EP name. How about that? Yeah. The Messenger Pack EP.
Bro, this bro, I'm blanking. I make too many songs.
No, that's when I ask artists, it's like
I make too many songs.
Because I'm sure you remember making it. You know what I mean? But knowing the details, like you know what I mean, everything like that. Okay, so it's J Sanity. Yeah. And the track is Stay East.
Yeah. Stay easy.
Yeah, no, that whole verse was hard, but specifically those lines, I was like, I gotta ask him about those.
Put the lighter to the J, then fade away. I remember that.
And then we'll just knock the last one out. This one's only 2 lines, okay? It's from 2022. It's one of your songs. Repeating false thoughts in my favorite heathens, shadow boxing the bleachers.
We know that.
You know that? Yeah. What's that one?
Silhouette.
Yeah. Silhouette with who?
With Marco Plus.
And so we'll get right into that. So tell, for people who don't know who that is, who is that, and how did y'all tap in?
Well, Marco, he's an artist from Atlanta. Really my manager put me on to Marco. He had a project. This was before Southside Villain.
Was it The South Got Something to Say?
The South Got Something to Say.
Was hard,
he put me onto that project, and then he was just like, you got to do a feature with him. You got to do a feature with him. You got to do a feature with him. And like, a lot of people, like, it'll either be a producer or it'll be like one of my managers will put me on to somebody and then they'll be pressing it. Like, they'll literally be like, you got to listen to this, And when I get pressed on something, I'm just like, I'm going to listen to it. I want to listen to it. Versus if they was just like, if you approach me on some yeah, this hard. Like just peep. Like whenever you got time, peep. I'm probably gonna peep it that same day. Yeah. But I remember one day I was just like, I'm bored. I want to listen to something. So I just ran a track, ran the album from start to finish. I was like, oh, yeah, we could do it.
Yeah, he's got cool projects. Yeah.
Yeah, and then what's cool about that song, I recorded that on headphones because I didn't have my mic. We had a hurricane. And like during the hurricane, I had to go to my parents' crib in Texas. Yeah. And then like it was just quick, like because they was canceling all the flights, all that. Like it was just bad. So my cousin was like, I could drive you to Houston, and then from Houston you could probably fly out and then go to where my parents were. Yeah. So that's what I ended up doing. So I didn't have time to bring my equipment. But I remember Curdy sent me that beat, and I was just like, this is just. It just fit it was just so like hurricanes, like it just be so dark, like you know, it'd be so dark outside, so like grungy. So I just kind of like, you know, all I could do was smoke and just like reflect. Like that's literally all you can do. So that's literally what I was doing. And then even like when I was at that crib, I was just smoking, just listening to beats, like writing. I was writing a lot, and then I was just like, I gotta record. Like I felt like recording it, and I ended up sending it to him. He was like, we just might as well keep it like that, you know?
One artist that I think you should check out, you are appearing on an EP. I think that Wolf Morpheus project is an EP coming out. Sedona. She's out of that. She's got some real cool sounds. Yeah.
Nah, don't tell.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I don't want to give away too much, but I've been telling all my hip hop friends, like, listen, bro, like, y'all might want to tap in with her because she makes like great features. You know what I mean?
Nah, she's cold.
Okay, so you got upcoming next week. You got 05 Honda? Is that
05 Honda dropping. It's the last single on the album.
Last single of the upcoming album?
Yeah.
Let's get into that. Is there a name for the album? Have you released that yet?
It's called Some People Scream, Some People Talk.
Okay.
And this is like my sophomore album.
When's that dropping?
It's dropping on a date in July.
A date in July. Okay.
Yeah, it's dropping on a date in July. I could say it's the 20-something.
20-something.
Yeah, it's 20-something. So it's dropping July 20-something.
Okay, sounds good. And how long, like, how long is the project? And like, is it done? You know what I mean? How long has it been done for?
It's been done for, I went to LA last month. So it's been done for like a month.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had the songs for a minute. Like some songs were 2 years old, like 2.5 years old. Like some songs were really old, but then there's some recent ones on the cut that's like only like 3 months old. Yeah. I was like, all right, this fits. So like we gotta put it. And then I don't know, when I'm finishing an album, that's when I get like my best songs. I feel like the later songs, like Silhouette on the last album was later. Starter Jacket was like literally very later. Yeah. Like always when it's later, it's kind of when I get some of my best stuff. So that's how I feel about this album. It's good. This is like a, I guess, sonic progression for me.
Is the order of the track, is that set in stone? Because sometimes I hear like they'll change the order like the day before, you know what I mean, or something like that.
It's turned in. It's fully turned in.
It's fully ready.
We got videos coming out after this video that's about to come out for 05 Honda.
Love your videos, by the way.
Nah, thank you.
Who shot the one for the most recent one? Was it Frustrated?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah, Sung.
Yeah, I know. Y'all been a couple of the cul-de-sac guys have been working with him lately.
Yeah, he's a very cool dude. Very, very cool dude. Shout out Sung. Yeah. Sung's crazy. Super crazy.
No, I saw that and I was just like, and then because one of my friends, I told him that you were coming on for the interview. And they sent me. I didn't realize that Sleeping on Gems had reposted you. How would like that? That must have been amazing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Nah, I mean they show love. I'm very grateful that they appreciated the videos and wanted to show it. You know,
it's not it's the videos too, but it's really like the sound. You know what I mean? Which I don't know. I mean, when I look at, obviously I've talked to a good amount of Baton Rouge hip hop artists, but there's a handful who I think can. Like grow, like their sound can go to multiple different audiences. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I told you, my homies in Virginia, Florida, they all tapped into you. Like I've top of my head, and if I don't mention you, don't be disrespectful. But like I feel like Jira, Josh Simmons, you know what I mean? These guys who have already tapped you on podcasts. So those guys, you know what I mean? Like music is kind of timeless to a sense, like in a hip hop sense. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna pose you a question right now. Ideal venue in Baton Rouge. Like say Baton Rouge is like Wakai. You can perform anywhere you want in the city, and you get to pick the lineup.
I'll probably do it. I really liked how Chelsea's was. Yeah. I liked how Chelsea's looked.
Yeah.
But if I did the lineup, I'd probably have my collective. Cul-de-sac will probably open. Outside of Cul-de-sac, I'll probably have Sleazy. She's an artist from New Orleans. I probably have her. Then I probably have another. She's a vocalist. She does like folk type music, but her name's Noah.
Yeah.
Noah Jameer. I probably have her open too. So, I kind of like having like a mixture. Like at my shows, I like it. If I'm gonna have rap like rap heads before me, I'm probably gonna have like a vocalist like in the middle of that. So it's just like some kind of.
So it's like a whole mix of stuff. So I guess okay. So another question: when y'all drove here, right? What were y'all listening to in the car? You know what I mean?
We listening to some BC, man.
Oh, some beats. Okay. Because I always like to know. I feel like it tells a lot about a person. What are they listening to? You know what I mean? Like, so what's been in your rotation lately? Like,
I gotta. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up.
Honestly, I've been listening to like a lot of. I'm trying to see how I could phrase it. A lot of I guess you could say indie rock. I don't know how to
like what type of
like Hiatus Coyote.
Okay.
Brain Story. I've been bumping Brain Story heavy.
Yeah.
Brain Story, Saint Panther.
So you listen to more than just hip hop. Like you make hip hop, but you're all over. Okay.
Yeah, I literally like. I feel like honestly, this album is gonna show people how tapped I really am.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like obscure sounds that I like listening to, and it just like I don't know. I like genre bending stuff, but at the same time, it's like I understand like with my tone of voice over certain production, it sounds nice. Like it just sounds effortless. So it's certain production styles that I'm always like I'm always gonna like some hints of lo-fi stuff, but at the same time, it's like I listen to like mad psychedelic funk, like Parliament, like a lot of stuff, like all the funkadelic stuff, Bootsy Collins. Like I listen to all that all the time because of my pops. Like I grew up in a very eclectic like house, like when it came to music, and then my sister, she went to Baton Rouge High, so it's kind of like she was around a lot of like different people.
Did you grew up in Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, my whole life, but I went to a different school, so it's kind of like I be hearing already what I was listening to, as well as what she was listening to, as well as what my oldest sister, she's 10 years older than me, what she was listening to. So it's like I had two different generations, well, three, like honestly, three different generations of music, and then very different styles. Cause like I remember in middle school, my sister would be banging Paramore, like banging like stuff like that. That was very different than what but I mean, I couldn't say I was opposed to it, because I mean, when she was banging Paramore, I was bumping Linkin Park, bumping Coldplay. Like I was listening to a lot of stuff, but I knew at a young age, in comparison to some of my close peers, it was very different and very abstract. But I didn't really feel like weird about it. I just knew I'm listening to, I guess, more things than what they're listening to. So it kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of beauty in it, because it's like certain girls I kick it with, I play them stuff that they never heard, and like just couldn't believe that it was that popular or that relevant. And then I'd be like, you just gotta kind of like open your mind. Like it's like so many different like soundscapes. Like so.
Well, music is such a connector. Like it's in the sense of like you could have two different people from two different lives. You know what I mean? Two different perspectives on life. But if you like the same artist, you know what I mean? Like I think I met a guy like 2-3 weeks ago. I think he was at one of those rave events, and I'm like, Big L is one of my favorite rappers of all time, right? Right. He's really into Big L, So like as soon as he said that shit, I was like, okay, like you know what I mean, like because you relate to it, you know what I mean? If you can relate to it, even if it's not directly relatable, you know what I mean? Like that's why music is such a good connector. So I guess my question for you is, after this, I'm sure people are gonna ask me. My girlfriend, like she asked me this morning, like, what do you who do you sound like? I'm not saying you sound like anybody, but you know, like Spotify radio, right? Like if I did a Wakai Spotify radio, what's it gonna play? Like who's in the same style as you?
Probably. Yeah. No, I guess you could say like I'm like like Smino, like
Smino was gonna be the first one I'll throw out there.
Like who? Yeah, like Smino, Isaiah.
Y'all rock with YG Tut, you know YG Tut?
He was in the collective with Zay.
In the house,
I probably like Smino, Isaiah. I guess Overcast, Mavi. I guess like in that pocket. But I think like with this project, I was really trying to, I guess that same way I'm in that pocket with them, I'll still be in that pocket, but I still want to be in the same pocket like with Hiatus Coyote.
So
with K Tronada.
So you're trying to show that you have different sounds. I mean,
in this
like project.
I wouldn't even say like, I mean, of course I'm trying to show it, but it's like it's not more of me like attempting to be of that sound. It's more so like I am that sound. Like it's more like I've listened to this kind of stuff and I've appreciated this style of production for a long time. It just took alignment for me to get those certain styles of beats and for me to have certain song structure to sound a certain way, how I wanted to project it. You know, like I got songs on the new album that's like rock, like literally rock. Okay. Like, but it's just like it's a fusion of my interpretation of it. So it's kind of like I can make whatever I want. It's just more so how is it gonna come off to the listener? Because it's like what sound like some rock shit to me might sound like some abstract jazz hip hop to an A&R. But to me, I know like these are rock chord progressions. These are like I'm stacking it and I'm singing it how I would hear like the lead singer of somebody like doing it. Or even people like Salt. like and like Cleo Soul, like certain London. I love like a lot of like London R&B artists.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like I thrive over like certain chord progressions and styles that are like kind of in relevance to that or like correlate with that. So I just been trying to show that more so on this project than just, I guess, like the soul chop sample based hip hop that I grew up on and that I'm always have love and appreciation for, but I'm way more layers than that, you know?
Well, because I think you've already shown that you can do that. You see what I'm saying? So like, not, and obviously you can keep producing stuff. I'm sure you will keep making tracks like that, but now you're trying to like expand. Like, okay, I can also do this stuff over here too. No, okay, I'm excited to hear the rock tracks. I wouldn't have expected that to be honest. From your music. Well, I like that you said the Smino though, because I would have said the Smino one because you did the feature with Femdot, and he's got that song with Smino off one of his older projects. But no, I think you and Shmino would sound real cool, especially like older Shmino, like what's that? What's Black Jupiter? Not Black Swan, but Black Jupiter. It's like the EP. You know what I mean? That EP.
Smino's just crazy though. Yeah. I love Smino. Love Mick. Mick, like the new song. The new song Mick just dropped with Jid. The homie Stoic made that. The dude who produced Frustrated, he just produced the song that Mick's on.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like as an artist, you're kind of at the point where you're kind of crossing over into these bigger names and stuff like that. So
taking
I mean,
that leap, you know?
So is there like, if you could get one feature right now, right? Like they'll feature you on their upcoming album. Who would you want? If it could be anybody, obviously there's like big names, you know what I mean? But like if you could just pick, is there anybody ideally? Would you want to be on the new Shmino album?
I damn near had to. I'm gonna have to say a couple because it's hard to say like just one.
Let's do 3.
All right, so 3 probably Jordan Ward.
Okay.
Smino, and either Fouché or
I don't know Fouché.
She's from Oakland, I believe.
Okay.
She's a crazy artist. She just toured with Steve Lacy.
Okay.
And either if not Fouché, there's an artist named John Doe. She's very crazy. She you listen to Saba?
Yeah.
You ever heard the song Photosynthesis?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one on the hook.
Okay.
And then if you know the song Menthol by Isaiah, she's on that. She's on that hook too.
Okay.
Yeah. No, she's crazy. She's from Chicago.
And no, I think that's why I kind of mentioned like Sedona earlier. Like having like really nice vocals, female vocals, it meshes really well with some hip, especially like your kind of voice. I think that just messages like perfectly. But no, honestly, like as you mentioned Saba, like that's kind of what got me into like, I guess he was underground back then, you know what I mean? But back like when him, Shmino, No Name, they were all coming up, you know, like that Chicago scene. Even though Shmino's not from Chicago, he's from St. Louis. But
he's just living there for a little bit.
That whole scene. But I remember tapping into them, and then like Earth Gang, because Earth Gang went to college when I lived in Virginia Beach, and they went to college at Hampton Roads. So and I think Jid did too. So I tapped into all that pretty early. And since then I've just been like tapped into I like mainstream hip hop too. Don't get me wrong. I'll, you know what I mean? We'll throw some stuff in the car, but I think the underground stuff is a lot more. Because one thing I want to know your take on this, because I think a big part about hip hop is authenticity and being vintage, and being genuine. And I think as you get bigger and more successful, you start separating from what people can relate to. So it's harder to make authentic or genuine music. So I don't know if you see what I'm trying to say.
Nah, I see what you're saying. I mean, it's kind of like I had talks about this with my mom. Like at the end of the day, I know I want to be a household name, but by the principles that I stand on, like from a musicality standpoint, it's like I still want to push myself to make innovative music, regardless of what style of production it's on. But at the same time, like at a young age, the reason I got into going to a studio, the reason why I got into having my own studio and recording music every day, every other day, is because I have a love and a passion for creating it, and I have a love and passion of hearing a crazy beat and then stopping what I'm doing and being in that moment and visualizing something and going to a place because of the production. So it's kind of like, I feel like the biggest difference between mainstream hip hop and like underground hip hop is the production. To me, I think that's like the biggest point. And then also, it's kind of like you could tell when something is like very polished. And I think when you get to a certain level to appeal to like the masses, it's kind of like people put a robotic filter on it just so it can be digestible. But at the same time, they have rare people, or like they have certain people outside of that percentage who just break the mold, break the threshold, and just do whatever they want.
Sometimes too polish is detrimental. I feel like a good example of that is I don't remember the name of his album, but like Jack Harlow's last album, people were not shitting on it. People didn't like it because it was very like polished and poppy shit.
Yeah,
and
when
they did that with the Jackman or whatever it's called. It's like a hip hop album, you know what I mean? So to a certain point, you kind of have to keep it. Because I think hip hop is about being genuine, you know what I mean? Kind of being like do it yourself, you know what I mean? And that type of element, kind of like punk music. It's like in the same. not the same sounds, but same type of culture in my mind. You can really see that at the raves. When you go to these rave events,
I done been to some raves like in New York, and I've been to some raves in LA. Like I don't know, I just appreciate it. I didn't went to like raves where they was just playing straight house, like just like on like rooftops, like in New York, like in the summer or whatever. I don't know, I appreciate it all, honestly. And then I don't know, I feel like we're in a time period now where it's so much fusions and like being at like the way how social media is now, I could be cool with somebody in South Africa. I could be cool with somebody in Israel. I could be cool with somebody in London. And being that I could be cool with all of these different people, of course, they're going to put me on to certain styles of music. Yeah. So over time, I'm going to want to embrace what I don't know. Or like I'm going to want to trail off and experiment into things. But I feel like at the same time, I get to curate what I'm making. Yeah. Right now, at least right now, nobody's telling me what to make. And I hope like the path that I'm going on, no one will have to try to force me or like limit me to what I want to express myself as. So I don't know. I'm trying to be true to what I'm doing because like you were saying, the people like Big L, like certain people who are just super authentic but still were innovative. I'm trying to be in that same like lineage. Like I don't want to stray away from why I did this in the beginning. But at the same time, I do feel like it's certain steps you have to take if you want to appeal to a certain audience. But that's to the discretion of the artist. And
yeah. Like there's a way to do it. It's also genuine. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just taking it slow and figuring out what that looks like. So I kind of have a 180 question. It's kind of similarly related. And I don't remember the exact song, but I remember you had some lyrics in one of your songs, maybe it's off your last album, where you're talking about how a girl looks at you differently when you're performing or in the studio or something like that. I don't remember the song. You might know what lyrics I'm talking about. But do you find, is that something that as you've gotten bigger and more popular, that you've gotten maybe disingenuine attention from women? Is that like, how do you handle that as an artist?
It's kind of like, I wouldn't even say it's just to the gender, because I mean, it's certain relationships I see now where people like they just treat me a certain way. I like the level of attentiveness just to see what I'm gonna say versus us having a human interaction just because you know what my trajectory, or you assume what my trajectory is.
That comes with it.
Because I mean, at the same time, the goal is for me to get to my highest self as a person, like as a human, flat out. Through that, I'm gonna get to my highest version of myself as an artist, and through that, it's like I've taken steps to become a better person. But he'll tell you now I'm the same person. Like, like if somebody needs some help, I'm gonna help them. Or like if nothing's really changed. Only thing that's changed is I started traveling around the country and expanding who I knew and expanding my network. And through that, of course, I did shows. I went to more studios. I got more well-versed, and I studied and educated myself on the music business as well as educating myself on music. So I started getting, up the ranks. I've tried different distribution deals, and I have a situation right now where I signed. So it's like I'm figuring things out, but I also know with these certain interactions, like you said, with the thing with certain women and certain people in general, everybody has intent. So it's just more on me. Like I move in a more spiritual sense where I'm privy to what the energy is, and I can read it. So it's kind of like I might not like brush you off. Like if I understand like your energy is not genuine, but at the same time I take it, I see it. It's certain things like I'll reflect on. Like damn, this could have been. This moment hanging out with this group of people could have went way better if they just didn't know I made music. Or like this could have been way better if they just would have treated me differently. Or like if they just would have not for a second, like, I don't know, humanize me like how I'm humanizing you. I don't say like, so how's life working at Walmart? Or like, how's life doing all of this? Like, though I might appreciate like the certain things that you do or the difference that we have in our lifestyles, at the end of the day, like, I'm still in BR.
Still a person.
Like, and I'm still a person just like you trying to figure out how to get through life.
You make cool ass music. You do all this cool shit. But at the end of the day, you're still like a person besides all that. No, and I appreciate it. And that's also like, let me say, I appreciate you coming on and
no doubt.
And doing this interview. So the whole point of SpotCheck is in like 5-10 years, if somebody wants to know what the hip hop scene was in Baton Rouge, they can just go back and like look at this.
That's crazy.
Like that's why I wanted to do it. And I definitely knew I wanted to try to get you on at some point, just because like you were one of the ones that I do have you in like concert. I play you on my show every so often, to be real with you. Like
that's love. I hope people know. I honestly feel like, of course, I don't know. It's kind of like how it is for every huge artist who gets out of Louisiana, whether it be Master P, whether it be Wayne. Of course, people outside of this state will appreciate you more. But I feel like long-term people are going to understand I really broke so many like barriers sonically, like for sure sonically at a very young age, and I'm gonna like continue to break.
And you're setting the path for like,
honestly,
Baton Rouge bars in Baton Rouge. You know what I mean? Like they can, like now they know it's possible to do stuff that because you're able to do it.
I think the biggest compliment is like I didn't know you was from BR. But you listen to my subject matter and you don't know where I'm from. I think that just shows to show you the kind of person you could be regardless of like the environment. You know.
So speaking more about Baton Rouge, I always ask this to artists. Obviously Baton Rouge, love it, it's a great place, but there's not a lot of opportunity for hip hop artists. There's not really the infrastructure, you know what I mean, to get super big, Have you thought about? I think you mentioned some of your songs that you thought about moving. You know what I mean? Or you want to move? Is that still a goal for you? Like, do you want to move permanently?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move. I mean, I really I came. All right, so like before COVID, I was living in California with a producer. The goal was for us. We're living near San Francisco. The goal for us was to move to Oakland by January, but a lot of stuff just went down and COVID hit. So I ended up moving to Texas with my parents, and I knew that I was gonna move further out in Texas, and I didn't want to move that far. So I just made the conscious decision to get closer to my collective. And then like I made the conscious decision to be like, all right, I'm making a couple plays, I'm making a network, but I always had faith in my album. I knew my album was the best to what I've made to that point, and that it would push me and it would take strides or whatever. But I also wanted to get this like plethora of knowledge to give to them, because I know like at the end of the day, it's certain things I just didn't have the answers for because of where I physically was. So being that I had the opportunity to go to California and like educate myself and learn so many things in that time span that I was there, I knew it would I wouldn't really be fully in my purpose if I would have kept that to myself or didn't like at least attempt to plant the seeds in them so they can expand. So honestly, I feel like we're getting to the point now where we're all figuring out kind of what direction we want to go, whether it be in different directions career-wise, but at the same time, we are still a unit. So I kind of feel like we're in a space now where if I were to move, I'm still accessible, This
is Cul-de-sac, right? And some people don't know. Can you tell the camera who is in Cul-de-sac?
Cul-de-sac, Duno's one of the artist in Cul-de-sac. He's an artist and a producer. Rondé, he's a singer and a rapper. Josh Simmons, he's also a rapper, and Villa's also a rapper. And then Osha, he's just like a creative designer, interior designer, just like kind of mixed medium type person.
And let me just say, Duno already said this, but we're gonna get you on soon. It's gonna happen. I knew I wanted to tap in. I'll tell the story how we met. We'll talk about that on our episode for sure. But so I guess one thing I want to ask about Cul-de-sac is, like, how often are y'all like tapping in and working? You know what I mean? Like, that's because for me, I don't know how collective works. You know what I mean? So y'all tapping in like every so often, make songs, or like how does that? Or y'all just
it's really like
I guess.
It's a real brotherhood. So it's kind of like I guess it's the same like how people like how Absol is to J Rock is to Kendrick.
Okay. Yeah.
They're locked in for life.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're gonna make a song or put out a song every album or put out a song every release or every single. But I mean, it's just like it's a real connection.
The support is there,
and that's how it is. Like, it's kind of like with your best friends, you don't have that many pictures with them because you're not spending time trying to capture the moment. You living in the moment.
That's what I hate the most when I see somebody maybe first time 2 or 3 years, they want to take a picture in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, I feel like some people, it's just, I get it for social media. You want to take pictures and stuff. It's cool. It's like for stuff like this, it's promotional reasons, right? But like when it's someone you're trying to connect with a friend, like, are we just hanging out to be homies? Or are we hanging out because you need pictures for your Instagram?
Right.
That's like,
yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. But I mean, that's all we be on the film.
Yeah.
Like I literally like, I like the fact that I'm only taking pictures so often. And when I do take them, I wait for them to come back and then I receive them. Then I'm like, damn, I remember this day. And then I don't know, like I like the scrapbook. Like I want to, like the same way I used to be like with my parents when I used to flip through my baby pictures and stuff. I want that to be the same way, like with the relationships of the people who I am with now.
Yeah.
But at like going back to your question, we cook all the time. Like it'd be times where they'll pull up to my crib and make music, or I'll pull up to Josh's crib and then make stuff over there. But we're locked in, so it's kind of like we don't have to be making music. If anything, we strategize the most.
No, and I do want to go. So I know I'm getting Josh in next week, and then we're gonna get you in soon. I already got Villa in, so I'm trying to get everybody in Cul-de-sac, because I feel like Cul-de-sac, everybody mentions them in the interviews and stuff like that. So I got to get them in. You know, I'm trying to document the actual Baton Rouge hip hop scene. So I guess we could talk a little bit more Cul-de-sac. How did y'all tap in together? How'd y'all meet?
Yeah, so initially, Josh and Villa lived in the actual Cul-de-sac.
Okay.
But I've known literally everybody like majority of my life. Basically, we all went to the same high school at some point. At some point, we all went to the same high school, Woodline, except for Osha. Osha went to Terra. But while we were in high school, I played basketball for like the team at Woodline for a little bit before I stopped playing basketball because they drug tested me. So fuck them.
You still hoop?
Yeah, I still hoop every now and then. I think I work out more than I hoop now.
I'm trying to find somewhere to hoop in town. I only hoop at the UREC, but I don't know where else everybody hoops in town. I was trying to go hoop with like Angels Can't Sin in them, because I used to hoop in high school, but it's too fucking hot to really hoop outdoors.
You gotta go to the UREC. But no, I didn't been in it. Yeah, nah, I'm straight. I'm straight with it.
I'm straight?
With it. Yeah, I'm straight. He'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'm straight. I'm straight.
Oh, he's better? Oh, okay.
Taj?
Yeah, he was saying he's cold.
Taj just shoots. Like he
he's a
literally
shooter?
just shoots. Like it be times you could give me the ball and I could facilitate. There's a difference.
You play point?
Oh no, it's not that I even play point. It's just I know how to hoop.
Yeah,
like it's more like I know how to. I'm trying to think. I'm like a scorer.
Yeah.
I think a scorer is the best way to put it. Like cause I can handle. Like I could pass. Like I could play defense.
That's all I can do. I can't shoot for shit. But now I can pass and I play point guard. I can listen. You know what I mean? Like what's his name? The white guy with long hair, Steve Nash type shit. That's except for the shooting. That's my play style right there. You know what I mean?
I got a strap too. I got a jumper. But I'm more like I'm like a streaky shooter. Like it's more like I'll do some things to add momentum. Like I'm good at
some space,
momentum.
You know what I mean?
I could go on the run.
And
I know how to go on the run.
Taj is a spot up shooter.
He'll pull up. He'll pull up. He got moments where he'll just be hitting.
Yeah.
But I feel the same way. Like I got moments where but it's times where I don't need to shoot, but I could still score.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's not
type.
I mean, for me, it's not like scoring is cool and all, but setting it up to like your teammate, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing for me. You know, I kind of like it a little bit more, but I don't know how we start talking about it.
It get crazy. It get crazy. Like I do like when you read and reacting. I like or if like I'm looking at you like, oh yeah, I'm about to backdoor this dude.
Oh,
like,
my goodness,
like backdoor him.
Or like if you look at here, but he backdoors you, look it. That like that's that feeling like that's the best shit right there.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we started talking about basketball.
Nah, he was just saying like, because I played on the team.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then through that, one of my homies who was on the team, his name was Jordan, and he was in the band with Josh, because Josh he played the drums.
Yeah.
So basically, he knew I had a setup, and this was like sophomore year of high school, and then he was like, "Let me bring him to your setup, see I can make a song, or whatever." Because mind you, I never really talked to him. We went to middle school, like me, Josh, and Trey, and Duno too. We all went to the same middle school.
Tapped in.
We weren't tapped in because they're a grade above me, and Duno and O's in my grade.
Okay.
So just never really talked to each other. Same with him, never really talked to each other. Then he came. Then it just turned from we just everybody got along. Like we just got along, and it started turning into Villa was just picking me up every day, like literally picking me up every day, bringing me to Josh's house. Like got real cool, like with his mom, got real cool with his brother. Then we just started recording, and Josh ended up getting it set up. Then everybody started linking, and we kept running into Ron Day at the thrift. Like we just kept running into him at the thrift, and I was just like, bro, you could pull up to the crib. Like literally, you could pull up to the crib. Like it just got to that point. Then it was just kind of like it was a mutual like appreciation and like mutual respect for how much like we all wanted to do things. So like I would record so much. Like I literally record all the time. Then it got to the point where Ron was just like, I gotta start coming to your crib, bro. If you gonna record every day, like I want to record.
It's probably motivational. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally. I mean, then same with him. Like he seen me record so much to the point where he just wanted to start recording. And he just started recording, and we all just kind of merged into it. But like initially, it was me, Josh, and Trey, and we were like in a different collective, and it was just like,
what was that called?
It was called TGFM. Like it was in it was with a dude named Alden that we went to high school.
It was in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, I've
heard this other collective in Baton Rouge. Not doesn't exist anymore, called Black Cypress. You ever heard? I'm not. I've heard a little bit about. Like I know at Gyra and them, Angel. I think maybe Thursday or something like that.
Yeah, I think Quad was in it too. I'm cool with Quad.
Yeah.
But basically, I mean, it was no like love lost for me leaving or like us all leaving the collective. It was just more we wanted something that was us, or like something that we kind of went into a situation where it was like we appreciate the knowledge and like the skill sets that y'all have, but it's more so like we can't build a foundation or something that's already built.
That's one thing I always say is like something good, and like a lot of people take this as like a relationship way, and I guess it does count. Just because it's good doesn't mean it has to last forever, right? Like you can have a good, like, I mean, we'll use it, like, girl, you could be dating a girl for like 2-3 months and it's not work out. Y'all don't have to hate each other.
Yeah, you don't.
Just
you learned a lot from that person. And then I always give props to Alton. Alton taught me how to mix. Like he taught me things I just genuinely, I had equipment. My pops helped me build a studio in my crib. Like under my stairs, it was almost on some Harry Potter shit.
Okay.
Like you duck, you walk in, and then you could sit. Like, and then it was just like, we soundproof.
That'd be a cool shot. Like if you like the staircase, but also if you see what I'm saying? Like that
that was the spot. Like we had some great memories. I think that's what we we built real friendships.
Yeah.
Like we were like, nah, these gonna be like the like uncles to my kids.
Yeah.
Like when I have kids, all from us going under my stairs, and then from them going under my stairs, we just started going to Josh's crib.
Yeah.
But through it, I don't know. We just like we learned how to appreciate the things that we learned from Alton.
Yeah.
Or like me, Josh, and Trey specifically. We learned how to, I don't know, like make music and record and actually put time into like what we really wanted to do. I guess in comparison to if I would have had a relationship with someone from BR that made like a completely different like sound than I did, even though I had some relatives who did music that was very left field to me, but they still had like great resources and great connections, but it just wasn't like the lane I wanted to learn.
That matters a lot. Like
it does matter a lot.
Because
you know?
there are guys in town who are sure like that you're cool with, like other hip hoppers and stuff like that, and y'all co-work together. I think y'all have worked. You know what I mean? Something we're gonna talk about, but they just don't fit the cul-de-sac vibe. Or you know, wherever y'all set that is, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's just like you guys are already established now. You know what I mean? No, I'm sure. I don't know, because I will say it's probably nice to be in the cul-de-sac when it comes to hip hop. You know what I mean? And you know, I feel like there's a little bit of clout that comes with that to a degree.
in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
it's clout in the cul-de-sac.
There's clout in the cul-de-sac. No, I mean, it's just no, because like I said, when I started, because I really tapped in with the Baton Rouge hip hop scene probably like 2 years ago. I saw Gyra perform at one of, and then Gyra performed, and you performed here, so I started tapping a little bit. I kept hearing cul-de-sac, 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 cul-de-sac. I was like, okay, like let me tap in and figure out what's up with cul-de-sac, and then now I'm pretty tapped in with all y'all. Love Demo, by the way. I didn't talk your project, but Demo by Josh is an amazing
Put
project.
some time on that.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I guess the question I have for you is, who's your circle of like, if you make a track, right? Say you make a track this morning, it's pretty much done, but you're like, damn, I need some ears on this. Who do you send it to? Like, you know what I mean? So if they tell you it's hard, then you know it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say, like, of course, I mean, I showed them. I honestly showed them first, more just on some this what I just made. Or like I'd be like, this crazy. But at the same time, I feel like I think mentorship or like more so like how does this sound? Like how does this sound, and am I missing something? I get that more so from like different producers that I'm close with. Or like really honestly like different producers that I'm close with. Like I'll probably send something to Curdy. I got a homie named John in LA. He's a crazy John Waymeyer. He's crazy. Like he's a crazy like multi-instrumentalist, producer, engineer. I sent him a lot of stuff. Like I sent him a lot of stuff, and then I just be like, this some stuff that I'm working on. And then even like I feel like my whole creative process, like for this album, was more so rooted in me trying to like really express like a more spiritual approach in making like anything that I've ever made. So it's more to the point where I wasn't really seeking like validation from this is a good song, this is a great song. This was more on some, do you hear what I'm trying to say? Or am I approaching this in a sense where you feel like you've taken something from me, like after I've made this piece of work or after I made these types of songs? And I noticed it was certain songs I play in certain sessions where I'd be like, hey, this is something I just made. And then people are like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then it'd be other times I play something else and I just see somebody just close their eyes and they just be in it. And then just open their eyes again and just close their eyes again. Be like, okay, I moved you just now.
It's like emotional.
This is more of an emotional connection than just a sonic connection. Because I do think the sonics matter. They matter a lot. And I love, like, don't get me wrong, I like that. I want my head knobbing. Like I want my neck to pop when I hear some, like a crazy beat or like something instantly come on, and then them first 4 or 5 seconds I'm moved by it. But at the same time, I think I'm more of like I'm an album artist for sure. And I make songs that are gradually going to grow on you after you listen to them multiple times, because you fully get to see what I'm trying to convey, and it's a lot of layers that I put in my music, you know?
So I've never made a song, so I want to ask you about your process. So do you, and this might be a very simplified way of thinking about it, but do you write the lyrics first and then pick the instrumental around that, or do you hear an instrumental from a producer and then you're like, okay, you see what I'm trying to say? Like, versus a little bit of mixed bag? Or?
I feel you. Like, I say it's mixed. It be sometimes where, all right, so last month I had tonsillitis, so I physically couldn't talk for like damn near a month. Like if I was talking, it was very faint, so I couldn't really record. But that was the most time I spent just writing, like just writing certain beats, or just like writing in general, like just like creative writing. I think I get I write on paper too, so it's kind of like I get some of my best like ideas when I just sit down with the beat and then I just write. And then I'll hear, like I might make 4 verses and then like the 4th verse that I made and make that the first verse, and then like the 3rd verse I made and make that the 2nd verse.
So a lot of moving around.
Yeah, okay. Like I like moving things around because like I like the structure is my favorite part of making a song.
Yeah.
I damn near even when they be in the studio, I be like, hey, put this here, then loop this, and then maybe that ad lib that you put right here, put that at the end instead of putting it in the beginning.
There's no harm in trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you never know. And then also I know like my word isn't God in a sense when I'm in the studio, but I do feel like I do wear like a composer's hat. Like I understand how to curate a certain experience regardless if my voice is on it. Like I just know like listening to certain songs, I listen to so much music, they listen to so much music, it's a mutual respect. Like if I'm telling you something, I know it's from a place of I guarantee if you heard it from this perspective, you might perceive it differently versus it just being it's not good. It'll be better with my way. That's not, we don't really move like that. It just be more so like coming from a place of love and coming from a place of difference. Like, cause sometimes you need that difference, and then with duality, you're stronger. Like, cause you seeing both sides of it. So that's kind of how I look at it. I just like kind of looking like how a composer would be. The composer doesn't say the violin section is weaker than the trumpets. They just say, okay, no, come here. So when the trumpets come, y'all are in unison.
Yeah, you
so
complement each other.
And you can complement each other, and it's cohesive. So it's kind of like, that's kind of how I be looking at it.
And when people say like music's like, oh, that's just bad, it sucks. I'm like, first of all, music is subjective as fuck. So I don't know how I don't know how you can say it sucks. You could say it's not for me. You know what I mean? But like,
literally.
but like you're just offering constructive criticism. It sounds like I have a tough question for you. It's a hypothetical. Okay, you're on a desert island. You have a record player. You can only have 3 records for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What are you picking?
Probably
So I used to ask that question. I would only say 1, but that's way too specific. Yeah, there's way too.
Yeah, we could probably do 3.
3. I think 3's a good. You know what I mean? 3 makes it tough, but it's also like
probably like Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
Channel Orange.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'm more of a Channel Orange guy than
I appreciate Blind.
I love Blonde too. Don't get me wrong, but
I love Blind.
Channel's got Bad Religion.
That's what I'm saying. Like I grew up with Channel Orange, so it's kind of like I have a different appreciation for it. And what's crazy is both times those projects came out, I was in LA, so it's like it was just different.
Hit just right.
It just hit different. Like when Blind dropped, I was in LA. My sister went to USC, and so the very first time I went out, like to LA, I was bumping a lot of Channel Orange. And then the second time I went, when she went to college, that's when Blind came out. So it was like, that was her freshman year.
Perfect,
So it was just like perfect timing. So I don't know.
So we got
and then I mean
Miseducation.
Frank from Louisiana. So
he is.
Miseducation,
Channel
Orange. And then third, I'm probably gonna put, it's like I'm stuck between if I want to put, it's gonna be an Isaiah album for sure. Okay. I'm just trying to see if I want it to be
which one though? Got some,
I can't get.
I'm from Tennessee, so I love Isaiah.
Like, and it's crazy. I went to school with a girl who's from Chattanooga.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, that's why I brought up YG Tut earlier. Like, if you never listened to Preacher's Son, his 2016 album, fully like that.
What's that song? Riding up. It's the outro, I think. That song is crazy.
Is it?
It's something about a trip. Like it's like
I'm gonna look it up.
That song is crazy. I was bumping that song a lot a couple months ago. But I got the vinyl my freshman year.
He released the records vinyl for it. I bought it. It was like I was like, dude,
Preacher's Son is crazy. It's a hidden gem, low key.
It is, and people don't know about it. I'm just like, that
was a pivotal time for me. Yeah. Like that whole time period, because that was like it was like that project, The Waters, Acid Rap. That was that time period, like and Sylvia Demo.
That's when I got into Shmino, like that. All this. I remember I used to walk to school in Florida because the buses didn't run my place. So I had to walk, so I would just listen to hip hop. And then like I remember I found Shmino, I found Preacher's Son all in one day, and I was like, on Spinrilla. They said close that shit, but if you know
I used to be on Spinrilla, bro.
Shout out Spinrilla.
Spinrilla used to go crazy. Dat Piff and Spinrilla. I was on Dat Piff first, then I got on Spinrilla.
I never got on that, but I found Spinrilla because I was like, I couldn't afford Apple Music or anything, so I was like, let me find the free app, and then you could find so many mixtapes and shit. Like that was like,
bro, I put some stuff on Spinrilla before.
Bro, I don't have to tap in.
I'm probably gonna. At first, I was gonna say Sylvia Demo, but I'm gonna probably have to go with Sun's Tirade.
Okay.
Honestly, like for the third one, because Sun's Tirade is just so crazy.
Right now, I'm looking up. So to recap,
I love Sylvia Demo. Though.
Can you look in the camera and tell you all 3?
So I'll probably do Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, first album. Channel Orange by Frank Ocean's second album, and Sunstar Red by Sarah Shot, for sure.
No, I love that. I love that.
For sure. Most definitely. And yeah, Cameron, I'm not ducking you, Cameron. I'm just making sure my thoughts. I want the whole room to feel what I'm talking about, Sony. Sony, you hear me?
So Preacher's Son, Living Sacrifice, you got Sunday Service, you got, this is off the Live from Living on the Sun. That's one of my favorites. Corner Store is hard. He's like rapping on that one. But the female vocals, Sheba of Angel May, I'm telling you.
Wait, no. It's
Or are you talking about a different project?
No. It's on there. Hold up.
He got Sunday Morning, Sunday Service, Living Sacrifice. That whole album is just amazing. And now
Caro's.
Caro's, okay, Caro's the Trip. Okay.
That one. It's not the outro.
Yeah.
That song's crazy.
No, yeah, that like highs and lows. Honestly, like you kind of like, I think your sound kind of goes with highs and lows and corner stores. I think like it really reminds me of like the same type of like, just like the production overall and everything like that. So what I want to ask you, because you were talking about how, you know, listening to these Frank Ocean albums in LA, it was like the perfect setting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say someone wants to get into Wakai's music, wants to listen to a Dark Boy, right? How do you recommend them? Should they listen to in the car? Should they smoke beforehand? You see what I'm saying? Like what type of, how should they prepare themselves? I always ask artists this question. I asked Jaira on live, like right before his album dropped, like, how do I listen to this shit? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't know. It's to their discretion. Because, I mean, honestly, of course, I can tell you, like, if you roll a joint and it just play Survivor's Guild track 1 and just let it run. Yeah. Like, and then just start your day. That'd be a crazy way to start your day. But also, I kind of feel like that project, something about listening to it, like, closer to, like, maybe, like, 4:30, 5 p.m. and just driving.
Or not midday,
and then just driving, going into where sunset is.
Okay.
That's kind of how like the project feels, I feel like. I feel like it's almost like a summer day of trying to figure out, like, if it was a coming of age story, that'd be like one of like my first film where it's like I'm just trying to figure out life, and then by the end of it, I haven't figured out everything, but it's okay, you know?
So no, and I think you are right about that. I love the album cover, by the way. Whoever came up with that, or how
that was me.
Oh no, that was like literally just looks perfect.
It's a baby picture of me, and I warped the image.
Okay, I was wondering, because I was like, I don't know what the actual base image is, but the warped, it just kind of makes sense with your sound. I don't know if that makes sense, but it just made sense. So I'm gonna ask you about, you know, your influences, who influenced you growing up.
Right.
I think I already know though one of them is Outkast, and I'm saying that because you have
I almost was gonna say Aquemini, but you know.
Well, because Away Game Volume 2.
Yeah, it's the Aquemini cover.
Yeah, the Aquemini, because I saw that. I was like, I know that cover. That cover.
I'm a product of Andre for sure.
Tell me about that project, because that was made with Wave World. So who I know he's in Baton Rouge. I don't know anything about him though. So
that's the bro. I literally made. I'll show you after we get off here.
Okay.
I made a song with him yesterday.
Okay.
Basically, I knew another dude named Andrew. Okay. Who I'm still cool with. I'm still cool. It's crazy. Like, if people who know me, I'm still cool with the same people. Yeah. Like if I'm I stay out the way. Yeah. Like I literally stay out the way, or I'm staying towards the path of alignment with what serves me. So it's like I'm moving. If you don't see me, it's not that I'm ducking. It's just more so like I have to go this way.
You see me when you see me type
like literally, honestly. But basically I met Wave through Andrew and during COVID. This was during COVID. And I remember we made this one song, I think it was called Motherland. And I just did like a super long verse. And because I mean, I remember when he first started making music, he was asking me for advice, Andrew. And he was making a completely different sound. And then he sent me that. And I was like, oh, damn. This is more like, it's almost similar to kind of like what I'm into. Yeah. So then I was like, oh, yeah, bro, I'm a hop most definitely. And then through that, he put us in a group chat. And then Wave texted me outside of the group chat, like, I got something for you. And it was a song called Spring. Yeah. And that was the very first song I made with him. I love that song. But like the reason I made Away Game initially, it was because I made another project called Home Court Volume 1. Yeah. Away Game was the second in the
because that one's
series.
not on spot. That one is not on streaming.
It's not on streaming, and the reason why it's not on streaming, basically, not even because of sampling. I let Wave release the project through TuneCore.
Okay.
This is before I had any distro stuff set up. This is a long time ago. So I let him release it because I mean the splits are great. Like you keep damn near everything. Like when you released through TuneCore, I was like, oh yeah, bro. If we keeping 100% of the bag,
might as well.
You might as well. And then like you got it. Like you can handle it. But basically when it uploaded, they put the wrong sequence. So it's just like I couldn't let that slide because it's more like we made the song specifically to run into each other. Yeah. So without that, it just really messed it up. Like, and it's hard. Like, it just physically was hard for me to sit through it. And different people tell me, like, oh, yeah, I love this song, or I love this. And I'm just like,
it's not the art you made. Like, you made it a certain way.
I made it a certain way. Like, that's almost like you're at America's Next Top Chef or whatever, and then when you come to serve the plate, you realize you left the main dish. Like, you left the main dish, but you have sides on the plate that are digestible. And just because my music is digestible doesn't mean it's the plate I want to serve.
It's a certain order. That's why, like, so whenever people tell me, like, oh, I made a playlist for somebody, a playlist is a list to play in that order, but they're like, just shuffle it. I'm like, that's not a play, that's a mix. You know what I mean? Like, mix, right. When I do Underground Sounds, those songs are in order. And you know what I mean? I put them in that.
Purpose, right.
Like, there's a purpose there. It's not just like, if you shuffle it, like, what's the...
Yeah, and then even as a musician, that's why they have the term resolve. Yeah. Like, I want these songs to resolve into each other, so it's a real grand feeling, and it's, like, very cinematic. Yeah. And then, like, even, like, in correlation to the theme of it, like, this is what I was trying to get off. So we tried to do it, but the way, like, it works, like, with the metadata, it wouldn't post again. Yeah. And it only would have worked if we would have posted it through, like, if we would have, like, changed, like, the pitch of stuff and, like, changed, like, a lot of things from it. So I was just kind of, like, I was bummed out at first, and I was just like, if we made this, I know we can make something better. So we literally, like, that day, we just looked at each other and we were just like, let's make another one.
Is it available anywhere, like SoundCloud or anything? Or
not even on SoundCloud.
Is there a way? I would love to listen to it if possible. I don't know how if that's possible.
I'll airdrop you some of the songs.
Okay,
but
I would
it's
love
like,
that,
it was a good project. Yeah. Like, it was a good, I ain't even gonna undersell it. It was a great project.
Yeah.
And I think what was cool about it was the first time me and him, like, really locked in. But I will say our relationship wasn't what it is now.
Yeah, because y'all Volume 3 came out, right?
Yeah.
So
like, we done made 3 projects. Yeah. So it's kind of like, of course, like, the stuff we making now, like, I can make something with him. But even he pushes me just like how I push him. Yeah. Even the newer stuff that he's making now is just very different than what we was making the first time we was just making music, you know?
No, and that also makes sense in the sense, like, not saying that y'all's work relationship has ended, you know what I mean? But, like, people's paths develop, right? Like, your sound develops, his sound develops. So it might get to a point where y'all no longer want to work together. And some people take that as, like, oh, it ended badly or shit. But I'm just like, no, dude, like, it's just like, it is.
Yeah, that's like my brother. Like, he's not, he doesn't have any songs on my new album. And that's my brother. Yeah. Like, that's literally my brother. I brought him on tour.
It's not a personal thing.
Yeah, it's not a personal thing. And I literally let him know, like, bro, the first time I go on tour, I'm bringing you. I kept my word. Even then, he had no songs on the album. Yeah. So it's kind of just more like, I don't have any, besides maybe, like, skits, I don't have any cul-de-sac features on the album either. But at the same time, people are a part of the story.
Yeah.
And it's like I name drop. I do specific things that show, like, it's more than just us being featured on something, or it's more than you having a production credit. You have a life credit. Like, literally, you know what I mean? Like, it's just different.
I agree with you. It's also like, just because it wasn't right for that moment doesn't mean it's not gonna happen in the future.
Yeah.
Like, when I tagged you earlier when I did that show, there were some people, some hip hop artists who were like, they texted me and they were like, why didn't you include me in the hour? I was like, I'm gonna do another one in a couple weeks. You know what I mean? Like, that song just didn't fit the flow for this week, and that's cool. I'm not saying anything about your music or anything. It's just like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't match up. You know what I mean? It's not always. I think, and it's not on these people or anything, but sometimes people take things personally, but it's one of those things, like, I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
You know, and then you never know who's thinking about you when you're not.
True.
You know? And it's just more like, you gotta know everything really is divine timing, and certain things gotta align. Like, if it don't align, it don't align. Yeah. Like, I make songs with them all the time that, like, sometimes they get on my ass about it, but it's just like, if the song, but same way I feel about with them. There's certain songs I made with them that I wanted to come out that didn't come out. Yeah. Certain songs that they've made with me that they probably really wanted to come out that I just didn't feel like it wasn't serving the purpose. I felt like I'm walking.
It's your choices, like, it's their choice. You know what I mean? If
same with them, same with them. Even if I make something with them that I don't feel like fits the song, I'd rather not hurt the full expression or like the full body of what that is. Like, I could remove myself and step back and still appreciate the art. Because at the end of the day, if it's your song, this is like your child. Like, I'm not gonna tell your child I'm not gonna tell you how to raise your child. Like, that's not my place. I might put my input on. I feel like maybe this part should be taken off, or like maybe we should tweak this part. But at the end of the day, it's your child. This is your creation. I'm just here to give some form of guidance, but I'm not your overall guide. You know.
All right, I have a question for you based on that. So I need some advice, right? I mean, sometimes artists will send me songs, and I always want to be 100% honest with you. I'm not going to say I like a song if I don't like it. But what's the best way to, like, if you send me a song and I don't like the song, should I tell you exactly what I don't like about it? You see what I'm saying? Like, how should I approach that? Because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything.
Right.
But
I feel like the best strategy you could take is to preface it. Like, when somebody's sending you something, ask them why. Like, what do you want constructive criticism? Or do you want me to just listen? Because it's certain times where I'll send out a demo to somebody where I'm just like, this is like, I just want you to bump it. Yeah. Like I'm not really, I'm not sending it for feedback necessarily. I know this is an unmixed, unfinished. Like you're gonna tell me things. Not that you might not tell me something that I don't know already, but the majority of the time, if I'm sending something premature, I kind of got a hint or I have a overall assumption of what you might say, and sometimes it's like, I just want you to listen to it just because I wanted you to listen to it. So I think it's better to ask versus to, you might overstep a boundary you ain't know you was overstepping just because it wasn't prefaced.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I'm gonna use that because my assumption always been is like if they send me music, they want the feed. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna start prefacing it. Like what do you want? Like what do you want from this? So, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And so I have a question. I don't think you're gonna answer it, but I just want to ask you the question. Who's the special guest for your show next Friday?
I gotta see.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool. I had to ask. I know. I'm definitely. Yeah, I was like,
hey, they're a West Coast stepper though.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, damn. All right, it's not who I thought. All right, never mind that. All right, so we are at an hour 6 minutes. So I think we're gonna get to wrapping it up. But so final question, and it's kind of putting you on the spot. Kind of a spicy question. I want you, and don't include yourself in this list, okay? Mm-hmm. Top 5 Baton Rouge hip hop artists, like underground shit. I'm not talking like anybody big or anything like that. Like if you had to do a list, like if you had to put some, like if you go to LA and they were like, put me on some Baton Rouge hip hop artists. Yeah. Who's your top 5?
Duno, Josh Simmons.
Okay.
Villa, Ryan Day, and then 5th, I'm probably gonna have to go with I'm trying to see who have I been bumping the most, like out the scene. 5th, I'll go with. It's like I could go with Quiet. Quiet. I say Quiet. Quiet has like he has certain projects that I'm gonna always listen to. Yeah. So it's like I probably like if I was trying to put somebody on to like a BR artist.
Can you recommend me? Like I listen to a couple of his tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I like honestly I say listen first. Listen to Malik Ruff. Okay. It's an album he put out in 2016. Like, he has a song with Steve on there.
So I heard that when I lived, like, never came to Baton Rouge, right? And so I came to Baton Rouge, and people started talking about, like, Quadri. Like, I heard about him, like local shit. I was like, dude, that's the same guy. You know what I mean? Because, like, it was a huge song, like, back then. That was, like 4 of it. It's like a time or something like that. I don't remember the song title.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Because he got 2 on there. He got another song called Bluegrass. Steve produced that one, too. I say listen to that. Then after that, listen to he has a project with Twami. Okay. I love that project.
Oh, the production. The production is crazy.
Yeah, no, Twami's a goat. They're about to make a new project. I'm on it.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So coming up, obviously we're just retouching. 05 Honda is dropping. So this podcast is gonna drop Friday, by the way. So the day of your show, it's gonna drop. I guess. When's 05 Honda dropping? Is it dropping?
It's dropping Wednesday.
Okay, so 05 Honda will be out by then. So y'all tap in.
Single video. We dropping a video same day.
Because I think, have you posted clips of that video on your Instagram? Yeah, I've seen the clips.
A little snippet.
So I know you're not obviously directing and producing these, but how involved are you in like the aesthetic of the videos? You know what I mean? Like,
I direct all my videos.
Really? Okay.
I direct all of them, make the treatments for all of them.
Wow.
Location scout for all of them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when I went to school, I was a film major.
Really?
Yeah, I've shot people music videos.
I've
edited people music videos. Like, bro, it was like when I went to school, it was damn near like I'm gonna keep pushing my music stuff, but bro, like I honestly would have been a great in film. Like literally, like if I wasn't trying to push music as hard as I'm pushing it now, I mean, obviously it's my career path. Yeah. But if it wasn't my career path, I probably easily would have moved to Atlanta or probably moved to LA. And it
helps that you have this experience because now you can use it. I'm sure you use it for yourself, but also other cul-de-sac guys, maybe other artists.
And then long term, like it's just like people just seeing me in my early 20s. Like I'm still gonna have my 30s.
You're 23, right?
Yeah, I'm 23. So it's like I got time. Like I'm not leaving film. Like if anything, I just kind of like with this album, I wanted to show people visually of what I was capable of in a short form. Yeah. So it's like I'm still gonna have long form content coming out too,
So actual final question. So in the next year, what does success mean to you? Like how is the next year gonna be successful for you? Like what's the metric? You see what I'm saying? Like what's
honestly, I be judging success by like the encounters I get when I'm on the train in New York and somebody walks up to me and they're like, bro, like I love your project. Yeah. Or like or even small things like when my mom can sit down on the couch and read me in a magazine. Yeah. That's success to me because it's more of I became a household item in my mom's household off of being a dropout on top of everything. So it's kind of like, it's more like they trusted me and I always trusted myself. So I really be feeling like success is me walking in my path. And as long as I'm walking in my path next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I'm really content. I don't think it's more of a metric thing. I don't think I've gotten over 1 million streams. I always wanted 1 million streams. And once I got that, I realized it's like, I'm not content by the number. I'm more content by the physical interactions I get by people and the physical interactions I get from my family, honestly, you know?
Well, you say something like that, like in flashbacks, you're saying like you're in Brooklyn and someone comes up to you and says like, Wakai, you're my favorite rapper or something like that. And, like, I mean, that must be, you know, that type of feeling, like someone recognizing you and be like, oh shit, let me go.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal though. I'm trying to like, honestly, like I want to be somebody's favorite artist. Like not favorite rapper, favorite artist. Like whether that be my videos are your favorite things, or my live performance, I'm your favorite live performer, or like just your favorite artist that you just listen to. That's like my overall goal, you know?
So I guess I'll ask this. If somebody sees you in public, right? You know what I mean? A big fan. How should they, like, is it cool if they come up and, you know what I mean? Like, I always like to ask
chill.
You chill with that?
If anything, I'm goofy. Like, they'll tell you, like, I will be prone to laugh. Like, if anything, like, if I see an interaction where it's just not, I'm not gonna say it's head ass, but if it's just funny, like, I'm not too cool. Like, I don't feel like I'd be cool guying people. If anything, like, I talk to anybody just like they talk to me. Like, cause it be times where I done been in New York, I done been in LA, and I approach people who I looked up to and listened to the same way people approach me. So I kind of feel like I just try to treat people how I want to be treated when it comes to like personal interaction and social interaction. So like if you see me out in public, you could talk to me. Like literally, like I'm not saying come up and just start rubbing on me and rubbing on my chest and stuff. But like I like literally like you could come talk to me just like I'll talk to you. If anything, you gonna learn that I'm goofy. I'm more like, I don't know. You might like me more as a person when you have a personal interaction with me, feeling like, why he had to treat me like that? Like, he weird. Like, you know, like I'm cool.
No, right. I think that was a great answer, to be honest with you. So we're gonna wrap up. Is there any last words of wisdom from Wakai that you would like to tell me, the camera, anything like that?
I'm looking to the camera. I think the biggest thing people need to take from right now, and please heed to these words that I'm saying. I feel like the truth doesn't lie within your palm. The truth lies in your mind. And I feel like the furthest you start seeing, or like the quickest way to get this to become something that's external versus it being just internal is realizing that there will be a lot of things that you see on your phone that will make you want to live a lifestyle that you think is your purpose, but your true purpose comes from within. So regardless of what you're seeing, you got to understand in your life and in your mind, that's the greatest version of where yourself will really truly come. And that's where it will become something existential and become something that's tangible and something that you could grasp, whether that's your dream job, your dream car, your dream house. All of those things are in the mind. It's not in your hand. It's not in your palm, and it's not in your wallet. It's in your mind. Major key.
Major key. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been SpotCheck with Wakai. I am Nick Frewin, and I will see you next week.
For sure.